From the Watergate building in Washington, this is Hotline TV. Now here are Hotline editors Amy Walter and John Mercurio.
Welcome to Hotline TV. I'm John Mercurio. With us today is Hotline reporter Amy Dudley. Amy, welcome.
Thanks, John.
All right, in an interview with the New York Daily News, Elizabeth Edwards today accused the Clintons of pulling their punches on health care reform in the 1990s in order to stockpile political clout. Just last week, she accused Hillary Clinton of copying her husband's health care plan. All right, Amy, is Elizabeth Edwards helping or hurting her husband's campaign with these sort of attacks on the other candidates?
It's certainly yet to be seen, but her attacks have been ramping up probably in the last couple weeks, if anything. And it's started off sort of just a remark here and there of there was an eerie sameness between Hillary's healthcare plan that she announced and John Edwards's that was announced months before. So that was the first crack, but
well, even before then, though, I mean, you know, the interview that she did with Progressive magazine that you were just talking about with against Barack Obama.
So she's been sort of the, I guess, scapegoat for throwing criticism around at the Democratic field and not having her husband have to do it. So
it's a really interesting question, I think, because I think it really, you got to look at sort of the situation that she's in. She came out of 2004. She was like beloved by the country, really, almost more so than John Kerry or Teresa Heinz Kerry. Then she announced, of course, in March that she has cancer. And I think that since then, her approval ratings around the country have been sky high. And the question is there sort of a calculated effort on the part of the Edwards campaign to use that high approval rating to their benefit, to have her be their attack dog?
I think that's going to be what people will start saying more and more if she keeps having interviews like she did with the Daily News, because it's so clear that she's coming out and being the one to call the various campaigns out, and
right.
He's sort of just going along with his campaign.
And the irony becomes, does she then, in attacking Hillary Clinton, saying that she's not electable, which is another thing that she said recently about her, the irony, does she then become the polarizing element of that that couple, of the Edwards couple, in the same way that Hillary Clinton was to her husband's detriment in 1992? Obviously, we're taking a couple steps ahead of where it is. I think her poll numbers are still great, and people still view her as just sort of a plain-spoken.
Well, it's very different.
frank.
I mean, she has a potentially deadly disease, and that's sort of a guard up that Hillary Clinton never had.
Absolutely.
And, never had anything close to. So.
And she's also, I think, expressing some of the frustration with that other Democrats feel in the Obama camp, and in the Richardson and the Chris Dodd camp, certainly, and in the Joe Biden camp, that no one's really going for the jugular with Hillary. That they're just sort of watching her expand her lead. No one's really challenging her. Certainly not Barack Obama during any of these debates. And so, in a way, it's interesting and understandable to watch her just sit there and criticize him. She's frustrated and impatient that nobody else is able to take the lead. All right, so Amy, the question I have is, what can Hillary do in response to Elizabeth Edwards?
The best thing she can do is continue to just brush it off and say, I'm not going to respond. She would be called out even more if she attacked the godly Elizabeth Edwards.
Right. And therein lies the conflict. But we're out of time for today. We'll be back tomorrow for another episode of Hotline TV. Until then, thank you, Amy Dudley, for joining us. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.